of the Rob Carson Show podcast. We are, of course, doing it live on Facebook, which is kind of cool now. I want to welcome you guys. It's really, really good to have you here joining me this evening. It is the 25th. What are you doing with my phone? What are you doing? My daughter's in my phone. What do you get out of here? Will you shut the door, please? It's my daughter, Avery. What a professional operation we have. Hi, how are you guys? Great to be here. We've got a lot of stuff I want to get to on the show as the evening progresses. We are live on 3 Facebook pages tonight. 3 Facebook pages, ladies and gentlemen. One of them being Rob Carson. That's me. Another one being Deplorables Radio. My show's always been deplorable. And The Deplorables. A friend of mine named Lori runs this Facebook page, so glad to have you here. I hope everything is going well for you. Today's been an interesting day. I was on the air in WBAP in Dallas, which is always a treat to be on WBAP in Dallas. I was on there from 2 to 5. I'm on there all week, so that's kind of cool. And I'd love to get hired there full-time. It would be glorious. It would be glorious. Looking forward to next week also. I'm going to be on KFAB in Omaha, Nebraska. All right? So if you would like to chime in as the show progresses, I've got a few things I want to get to as we just kind of relax and enjoy each other's company. Okay? Let's talk about the day's events and let's hang out. All right? Have a glass of really cheap, boxy Chardonnay out of an IKEA cup. That's what I like. High class, folks. High class. Before we go any further, I do want to thank our sponsors for the show. Got a couple of terrific sponsors. Dr. Alex Nelson, if you're in the Kansas City area. Dr. Alex Nelson is a chiropractor. And if you haven't done chiropractic care, you're fooling yourself. Particularly if you have issues with neck pain and back pain, low back pain, shoulder pain, carpal tunnel, neuropathy, all of these things. Chiropractic can do wonderful things. Just go to fountainoflifechiro.com, fountainoflifechiro.com, and talk to Dr. Alex Nelson. You can call 816-741-4711 as well. 816-741-4711 is Dr. Alex's number, and it'll change your life. It will. He's a great guy. Young guy, terrific practice. Grass Monsters KC. That is a local company, 5520 Raytown Road, Raytown Mow. They sell an unbelievable line of mowers. These are American-made mowers. A lot of times you go and you go to the big box store and you see these mowers chained out up out front. And they're that one, like the one that Forrest Gump drove when he was mowing the football field. And those are okay, but they're not going to last very long. How about this? How about a Z2? How about a Dixie Chopper Z2? How cool is that? They sell that. That's a residential mower made in Indiana. Absolutely killer. The Excalibur. That is a commercial mower made by Dixie Chopper. These things are spectacular. Up to a 74-inch deck. Built just absolutely incredibly. Also, let's not forget Hustler mowers. Hustler mowers are sold. Pardon me. There you go. Hustler mowers are sold at Grass Monsters. And these are American-made. These are Kansas-made. The Raptor is spectacular. The Raptor ST with a 3-year, 300-hour warranty. Some of these are commercial. Some of these are not. All right? You've got some amazing features on the Hustler mowers, smooth track steering, a very tough frame. These things are built, they'll last you forever. All right, they will last you forever. GrassMonstersKC.com. GrassMonstersKC.com. I'm going to get into a couple of stories. Hello, Sam. How you doing, dude? Sam Cangelosi, the guy who is working with me to create the brilliant designs for our T-shirt and swag line. And all you got to do is go to, and I want to make this all into a commercial, but right here, tpublic.com/user/conservatees, tpublic.com. Just look for conservatees, get some of the great designs that we have, like you can't coexist when someone to kill you. You can get that on T-shirts, you can get that on mugs, you can get that on stickers, the whole deal. So check it out. Okay, let's get into the day's events as I check out the Facebook pages who are viewing us this evening. 2 former leaders of an isolated polygamous community in Canada were convicted Monday of practicing polygamy after a decades-long legal fight. Winston Blackmore, 60 years old, never denied having the wives. Together they had, let me see. This guy, Blackmore's married to 25 women. James Oler is 53. I mean, he's a piker. He's only got 5 wives. What a wuss. I mean, come on. Anyway, between them, they have 135 children, I guess, with these women. 135 children. Apparently, they face some jail time. They face up to, I guess, 5 years in prison. When the judge said they faced jail time, they both said, well, we have 30 wives between us and 135 children. When do we start? Because I am so there. I am so there. So there. Another quick headline before we dive into the news of the day. And if you'd like to comment, feel free to do so right now. Ancient humans had sex with non-humans. Did you know that? New research says that ancient humans had sex with non-human species, according to a study conducted by Omar Gokkuban, assistant professor of biological sciences at the University of Buffalo. Wow, I want to party with this guy. Here's that the research found that humans had sex with other members of the hominins group. They were wildly different genes and DNA, and they were doing the nasty. This explains Lena Dunham. This explains Lena Dunham. Oh, my God. It makes so much sense right now. All right. And by the way, Sam, how does the picture look? Is it streaming okay this evening? Is it streaming okay? I'd like to know how it's looking for you. By the way, my high school guidance counselor, Mr. Elliott, I'm just going to call him Mr. Elliott, 81 today. Or it might have been yesterday because they went out to dinner. Jan Elliott and her husband are brilliant people. Mr. Elliott is an awesome man, an awesome father, and had a very big influence on me in my life. So I want to wish him a happy birthday. Donald Trump spoke in front of a group of Boy Scouts Monday night. West Virginia, the Eagle Scouts, Scoutmasters, and all that. And a lot of people are really mad, and they're threatening to leave the organization. Now, nobody means that. If your kid is on the way to being an Eagle Scout, you're not going to pull because Donald Trump did a speech in front of Boy Scouts. And the Boy Scouts were very, very excited about it. They were very, very excited there. Here's a little bit of the speech last night to the Boy Scouts, and a lot of people are mad because Donald Trump made it slightly political.
There is a tremendous spirit with being a scout, more so than almost anything I can think of. So whatever's going on, keep doing it. It's incredible to watch, believe me.
All right, there you go. That's incredibly controversial. He said that last night. Let me see, what else did he say? Oh, he said this. This is controversial.
Trump administration, you'll be saying Merry Christmas again when you go shopping, believe me.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
They've been downplaying that little beautiful phrase. You're going to be saying Merry Christmas again, folks.
All right. So a couple of things he said there. Oh, by the way, I my comments weren't working. LaDonna, how are you? Good to see you again. You know what, LaDonna? If you're back in Columbia, we should grab a piece of Shakespeare's Pizza sometime. Mike Baxendale, my brother, going to be talking at the Talkers Convention. Are you there because they're trying to show people what not to do? Because I should be there too. Mike Dyerson, James Christo, Joanne, what's going on? Good to see you. Kelly, Stephen, Sam, all you guys. Yeah, 135 children, 30 wives. Can you believe that? Could you imagine that? Anyway, it's good to have you guys with me tonight. It's really a joy to be here. And comment on anything, please, because I'd like to talk about a lot of things, not necessarily just political stuff, because there's other things to talk to. Here's the thing that bothered me about the Trump speech today. I wasn't crazy about him going political. He did. Here's CNN, actually, doing the Trump speech in 90 seconds. I don't think they did a very good job because they're political in their, in their presentation. But here's in 90 seconds.
Who the hell wants to speak about politics when I'm in front of the Boy Scouts?
And then he did.
The Scouts believe in putting America first.
Okay.
You know, I go to Washington and I see all these politicians and I see the swamp, and it's not a good place. In fact, today I said we ought to change it from the word swamp to the word cesspool, or
and we said he wasn't going to talk politics, and he goes ahead and makes it political.
Perhaps to the word sewer, but it's not good.
I don't listen. People dogpile on the president, and I understand why some people don't like him. I kind of like some of the things he's doing. I just do. I like the fact that he bombed the crap out of Syria in the airfield to stop him from dropping chemical weapons. I'm glad he pulled out of Paris, the Paris political, the climate accord. I'm glad that he is getting rid of a lot of government regulation. All right. I'm glad he's working on repealing and replacing Obamacare. Right. I'm glad that the coal industry has risen 21% in the last quarter because, American energy is on its way back. I like those things. I like the crackdown on illegal immigration. I'm not saying, it's got to be heartless, but I do. And I like some of the things he does. I do. But I don't know. It's kind of funny. He made it political. He said he wasn't going to make it political. Whatever.
Boy Scout values are American values. And great Boy Scouts become great, great Americans. As the Scout law says, a Scout is trustworthy, loyal. We could use some more loyalty, I will tell you.
Oh, boy.
Do you remember that incredible night with the maps? And the Republicans are red, and the Democrats are blue, and that map was so red, it was unbelievable, and they didn't know what to say. And hopefully he's going to get the votes tomorrow to start our path toward killing this horrible thing known as Obamacare that's really hurting us.
There's the crowd.
He better get him. Oh, he better. Otherwise, they'll say, Tom, you're fired.
He's talking to his HHS secretary, who was there. When you're working a crowd of Boy Scouts, and listen, many of you maybe think because I'm a whatever talk show host that I'm in the tank for Donald Trump. No. I like what he's doing. You don't talk to an audience of 12 to 18-year-olds like this. You say, so what'd you think of that new Thor movie? What? Yeah, or the whatever video game. I don't know. So the interesting thing is that the people who belong to the Boy Scouts generally, I would think, affiliate more closely with traditional American values. The Boy Scouts have taken some heat about in the past, and now they do allow gay scoutmasters. They wanted boys to be in the Boy Scouts because they had penises, and girls to be in the Girl Scouts because they had vaginas. And a lot of people really despise them because of that, and that's sad. So I don't doubt that some of these kids are fairly politically savvy with regard to what's going on the conservative side of the political spectrum. So, but at the same time, just I don't know if we needed to go political. I think this is the crowd going wild. We love Trump. There it is. Okay.
By the way, just a question. Did President Obama ever come to a jamboree?
Okay, the kids apparently they applauded for like 14 seconds. It was kind of a big deal. Anyway, the thing that I found most troubling today about this, guys, is that there were, and I'll read a headline, and this might be, I think this is from Vox or Politico. Trump Boy Scout speech is Nazi Hitler youth rally, left says. That really pisses me off. And you could say you want about Donald Trump, he's a Nazi, he's what, and that's bullcrap. That's water off a duck's back. It's who cares? But when you say that children who are Boy Scouts, who are outstanding people, who are better than you and me, Eagle Scouts, these are innocent young men who are there in the Boy Scouts to serve their community and be great kids. When you say that this is a Nazi Hitler youth rally, shame on you. Shame on whoever thought that. And I don't want to be too strident here, but that's bullcrap. I've got a 17-year-old young man upstairs Will, my son, and he's a great kid. And you can play politics all you want, but don't you dare say, as a whatever, I don't care, you're probably on Vox, you're probably on Politico, you're probably on Slate, all these a-hole sites, but to say that Donald Trump speaking in front of Boy Scouts because the Boy Scouts chanted the president's name or whatever, it's an exciting thing for these kids. They're at a rally, and the president of the United States is speaking there. Turn them up. There you go. There, that's a little bit. With the lights here. To say that about kids is just, it really, really pisses me off. And I refuse. I refuse to accept that. This is according to this article. Trump noted at least 10 of his cabinet members were Boy Scouts, including Energy Secretary Rick Perry. He was there. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson was a Boy Scout. He also was the group's president, didn't you, from 2010 to 2012. This is according to the article. Trump, who has attracted support from white nationalist leaders in the past, shut up, has repeatedly been compared to a Nazi leader by his critics. Again, shut up. The Nazi Party targeted German children to help spread its propaganda messages. At one point, counting to more than 5.4 million members of before joining became mandatory in 1939. Trump supporter launched a group named the Trump Youth last year. Also drew comparisons to the Hitler Youth. Meanwhile, see if I've got this here. Obama. Yeah, this is when Barack Obama became the president. Listen to this. Some of the songs and the chants in schoolrooms.
Obama's gonna change it. Obama's gonna lead 'em. We're gonna change it and rearrange it. We're gonna change the world.
There was a lot of that going on when Barack Obama became the president. So, more than anything, whether you disagree or agree, or you think that, Donald Trump became too political tonight or whatever, don't ever say that because this president is speaking in front of a bunch of Boy Scouts, that it's a Nazi youth rally. That's an insult to the Boy Scouts, and shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. All right. By the way, 2012 DNC National Convention. Gloria Johnson was there, who's a Democrat operative. She heard that the Eagle Scouts were going to take the stage, and she immediately went to her friends, grabbed posters and markers, and made signs that we support gay Boy Scouts. And they seated in the front of the hall and waved signs and booed them. A lot of people hate the Boy Scouts because they are, they represent traditional American values. And most of them are, they're boys. They're not transgendered. If they want to be gay eventually, well, I don't, whatever. Hello, Shelby. How are you? Are you going to be at the family reunion? My niece. You going to be there? I'm going to be there. Trying to decide what to bring. I think I'm going to do pulled pork. I think I'm going to do pork butt. I like pork butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't. Okay, I won't do that anymore. It's not cool. It's not cool for a 50-year-old man to try that. Oh, this is funny. I'm not going to get into the Obamacare thing, and there was some news on that today. The Senate has decided they're going to. They just passed it. John McCain came back from brain surgery to help with the vote, and they passed it. So the debate to repeal Obamacare has begun. All right, there's that. There are 3 Republican senators, women, who have been. And they voted against the repeal, by the way, today. Senate GOP Maine Senator Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. They voted against it. And this guy from Texas Republican, Blake Farenthold, blamed some female senators from the Northeast for the GOP health care bill being stalled and said he'd like to ask them to step outside and settle this Aaron Burr style. Yeah, I know. really stupid. You'll recall that the duel between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton happened in 1804. Alexander Hamilton came up on the short end of the stick. Just kind of dumb. To say that, that's just kind of dumb. I won't settle this Aaron Burr style like 1804. Really? Okay, sure. Sure. Oh, this actually is good news, and I like this. The last few years during the Obama administration, a lot of international countries. They're all international if they're countries around the world. But a lot of people have watched the United States capitulate, bend over, take it up, whatever from third world countries, including Iran, in the Persian Gulf, and some of these little boats that Iran sends out with its Revolutionary Guard. They taunt the American military. They give them a little grief. They do whatever. And today, the U.S. military gave them every warning and then said, okay, we're going to fire a shot over your bow. Here's the report from CNN.
In international waters, when they were approached by an Iranian patrol boat believed to be operated by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. That's the most militant wing of the Iranian national security structure. And this ship came within 150 yards of the Navy ships operating up there.
You get that close to an American warship, you get your ass blown out the water. You remember what happened with the USS Stark? You get your ass blown out the water.
Navy says they called the Iranians on the radio. They fired warning flares. They sounded.
The Iranian military, they have the cups with the string. So the radio is not the same.
Five blasts of their whistle system, which is an international navigation sign for danger. The Iranians did not stop. At that point, a U.S. Navy ship fired warning shots into the water. The Iranian ship then did stop, but stayed in the area for several hours, we are told.
Now, I'm not a warmonger, but I hope they blow the shit out of one of those Iranian patrol boats. I hope they blow the shit out of them. I'm meaning to use, I can use this language because I'm podcasting, and I do apologize if you're offended there. Debbie, how are you? But I really hope they just blow the crap out of them. I really do. Because you don't poke a pit bull with a stick. Now, there was a lot of pit bull poking during the last administration. But the pit bull isn't on a chain anymore. That's the problem. That's the difference. You got General Mattis in charge. And not going to do that anymore. Not going to do that anymore. I'll get to that in a little while. This is more of a political story, talking about the Second Amendment. I don't know how you feel about the Second Amendment. I'm a very big Second Amendment believer. We have a gun in our house. We are very careful with our gun in the house. There's a D.C. law requiring a good reason to carry a handgun that's been rejected by an appeals court. This is pretty interesting, actually. Now, I want you to put your partisanship aside here. Say that you are a woman who's being stalked, or someone who's in a very high crime area, who's had robberies happening in their neighborhood. D.C. has had some of the most strict gun control laws forever. And finally, people in D.C. are able to carry, although it's been very difficult, and it might be a little bit easier now. Federal appeals court blocked enforcement of the strict concealed carry law in the nation's capital, required gun owners to prove, very vaguely, by the way, a good reason in order to obtain permits allowing them to carry handguns for self-defense. 2-1 decision. U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. In rejecting the city's law, the court ruled that while the Second Amendment allows for some limits on gun possession, it does not allow for bans on carrying in urban areas like D.C. or bans on carrying absent a special need for self-defense. Now, what part of shall not be abridged do you understand? Not understand. This is according to the circuit judge, Thomas Griffith. He said, in fact, the amendment's core at a minimum shields the typically situated citizens' ability to carry common arms generally. Wow, that was tough to digest. The district's good reason law is necessarily a total ban on exercises of the constitutional right for most D.C. residents. That's enough to sink this law under Heller. Now, Heller was the one that was overturned and allowed people to be able to carry handguns in D.C. again. So under the city's law, living in a high-crime neighborhood was not reason enough to justify approval of a concealed carry permit. Hopefully that will go away. Go away. It'll go away. We will see. We will see. Bill Nye, the science guy. Ugh, what a doofus. He says that older people need to die out before climate science can advance. So if you disagree, chances are you're older and you just need to die out. He says climate change deniers, by way of example, are older. It's generational. Okay. Younger people don't vote either, and younger people are more, have tendency to believe in things that are debunked more because it takes life to get you there. But anyway, he's saying basically that old people need to age out and die for this to go forward. I say he goes first. He said he's like in his 70s, right? He's like in his 70s, an old guy. He's an old guy. What else do I want to get here? Oh, boy. Do I want to touch on that? Yeah, I can. Today on Facebook, I got into a debate with some folks. A lot of gender identity stuff going on. And I'm very proud to say that I'm a man. I have a penis. I would show it to you, but, it'd be very embarrassing for me. It's whatever. Anyway, and by the way, hi, Lori. How are you? What's up? Glad to have you there on The Deplorables live right now. Great to have your comments. Listen to this. This is according, I think this is HuffPo or Vox. Powerful photo shows that women aren't the only ones who get periods. Yeah, they are. Not all people who menstruate are women, and not all women menstruate. Well, that can happen. You diet. Maybe you just had a baby. And there are several ways. You menopause. Hold on. Oh, God, I said menopause. Transgender artist released a powerful photo last week in an attempt to broaden the cultural understanding of the different types of people who experience menstruation. Women experience menstruation. This was really kind of a gross. It's gross, all right? And listen, I'm not saying that menstruation is gross. It's what happens. But also, vomiting is gross, and it happens too. But we don't celebrate it by showing our stained clothing. We don't show. And this is a Cass Clemmer. Who, by the way, is a woman who claims to be a man, uses the they and them pronouns. People who are what they call binary basically saying they don't claim the sex. They call themselves they or them, so they're plural, which I think would be embarrassing because I don't want to be as big as two people. So anyway, Cass Clemmer posted a photo of themselves on Instagram, depicting them free bleeding while holding up a sign that reads, "Periods are not just for women," or hashtag bleeding while trans. The photo was accompanied by a poem the artist wrote for a spoken word event at the Menstrual Health Conference last summer. God, I missed it. That's always a party. Son of a gun. By the way, open mic poetry, the worst thing ever. This is from Clemmer. She decided to stage the photo after backlash to The Adventures of Tony the Tampon, a period coloring book, a project they created to introduce kids to all genders to the experience of menstruation. Let me just ask you, okay, if both sexes can experience menstruation, can both sexes experience a boner? I want to see my wife pop a boner sometime. Here's a lesson from Alex Cooper in the 70s.
Only women bleed. 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 Only women bleed.
I think so, anyway.
Only women bleed.
I don't want to get my period at 50 years old. I'm not going to be prepared. I don't carry pads with me. All that stuff. Please don't let me menstruate at 50 years old as a man. Cass Clemmer writes, I remember sharing for the first time with a friend of mine that I wasn't able to wear my binder that day because I was on my period and my boobs had swelled up so much that it made it hard to breathe. Okay, her binder is how she binds her body to make it look like she's a dude. Squashes her boobies, the whole deal. I will tell you that a lot of men later in life get boobies. That does happen. I mean, it really does happen. Maybe I need a binder. I don't know. I try to work out, try to make it better, but I could be wrong. Thanks for the likes there and the emojis, by the way. Clemmer told HuffPo, we'd been friends for a while, and she's a feminist activist, but when I realized that not even she had considered what it's like for people like me to experience bleeding on an irregular basis, I knew that I had to go public with my story to help shift the mindset around tying periods with womanhood. I know. What was I thinking? Tying the egg-dropping, connecting to the wall of the uterus and attracting a sperm as being the female part of the sexual equation. I know, it's so stupid. Dear Lord. And femininity. Not all people who menstruate are women, and not all women menstruate. Well, I know not all women menstruate, but all women who menstruate are all people who are, you know what I'm saying. Everybody who menstruates is a woman. Okay? I did get some reaction today on my Facebook page. Some okay, some not. And I knew that I immediately was going to be called some sort of a phobe. A phobe. I'm a phobe. I'm a phobe. Sean wrote me originally when I posted this story. Really just pisses me off. It makes me sad that my kids have to live in a time with a bunch of sick F words turning the world upside down. Christy said, I agree with you, Rob. Christy's my favorite Facebook follower. She's smart and really cool. And then Amanda said, yeah, if you're not willing to admit that trans people exist, pretty much does make you a bigot, regardless of menstruation photos. She's not my favorite follower. Kind of an interesting study. Listen to this. Schizophrenics who agree with the voices in their head are more in control of their condition. Here's the thing. Here's the lesson we've learned today, folks. Don't argue with the voices in your head. Can you at least go? Don't argue with the voices in your head. Listen, you will be much better off if you just listen to Sandy and Bill. You know,
and the one who makes you want to go outside and dance around in the moonlight naked.
You know, these are the things.
Kill, kill, kill.
You just agree with them. Agree with them. You'll be better off if you just agree with the voices in your head. Schizophrenics who hear voices that match their beliefs are more likely to react positively and find such internal dialogues pleasant. Okay, but I don't want to kill the president. Study author Dr. Filippo Varese, University of Manchester, says most voice hearers with mental health difficulties in our study experienced their voices as a hindrance to achieving their goals and viewed their voices as distressing and problematic. Imagine that, the voices in your head being distressing and problematic. But other voice hearers find that voices facilitate their valued goals and are therefore pleasant and constructive part of their lives. Wow. We should help to seek clients, explore their voices, relate to their goals that are important to them, and empower them to progress toward these goals. Yeah. All you got to do, if we could learn anything today, kids, a lesson for the day, agree with the voices in your head. Okay? Just agree with them. They're talking to you all the time. You're laying there. You're like, okay, buddy. Okay, it the clown. Whoever. I agree. I'm with you. 100%. Trust me on this. I am. Normally, I would disagree with you on this, but this time, we're on the same page. Humans and dogs. There's a technology that is going to be available to allow humans and dogs to talk. Now, dogs are sometimes very smart and sometimes very stupid. My dogs are glorious and wonderful and stupid. Okay? Every time that I go outside and I tell them to go potty, it's like, whoa, you want me to do what? You want me to do what? What? I need you to go potty. I need you to just poop or pee out. Just go out there and poop or pee. Just go. What? What am I out here for? I don't understand it. And then you wait and you go in and they crap on the floor. And it's very simple. I don't want to have a conversation with that stupid being. All right? And listen, and dogs are glorious, and I understand, and I love the fact that they get the simple joy out of me walking through the door every day. Yes, and I understand that all they care about is just having you throw something and having you catch it. I get it. But at the same time, I don't want to talk to that being. I don't care to talk to that being. That if I were hanging with my friend Mike, and all Mike cared about is, he comes over, hey, Mike, how you doing there, buddy? I'm good. Good. Mike, can I get you a treat? A treat. And Mike turns, the squirrel. I'm like, Mike, come in, Mike. Let's come in, Mike. Okay. And then Mike comes in and drags his ass along the carpet. And then my friend Mike, as I'm sitting here, decides to hump the other person in the room from behind or hump my leg, okay? I don't want to have a conversation with that person. I don't want to have a conversation with the being that eats its own vomit. I don't want to have a conversation with the animal that follows his or her litter mates and eats their crap. I don't want to have a conversation with them. I have no interest in, I don't want to know what you know, hey there, Lucy, we got a dog. Lucy, you want to watch Game of Thrones? No, I'd rather eat Desi's crap. I don't want to talk to my dog. I'm fine just saying outside, and they get excited. Squirrel, they get excited. I say treat, they get excited. Okay? Hey, that's really cool. I don't want to have a conversation with the dog. I don't want to have a conversation with an animal that if I died, there was a good chance they would eat my body before they'd eat their food. I just shared that last week, actually. New study. I don't want to talk to my dog. I really don't care to talk to my dog. You're not going to end up talking about, my God, did you watch the new Game of Thrones last night? It was so fantastic. You'd get something like, have you tried Zoe's crap today? I mean, it was spectacular. I don't want to talk to my dog. No desire to talk to my dog whatsoever. All right, sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. Wisconsin company wants to install microchips under your skin. Well, not them, but just the employees of the company. Take a drink of water. Hold on. 3 Square Market. They're a company that they want to install microchips under people's skins. I've got you under my skin. I need Michael Bublé to sing that. Microchip implants. Now, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to go into your work and you're going to be able to take care of all the things, that little key card. You got that key card thingy, gets you in the doors and all, turns you in. You don't need the, what is it, the code to get into your computer, password. How many passwords do you have? Dear God. So not only can do that, but you also go to the break room. And some of these companies, my wife's company is one of them, they have these, it looks like the kiosk at a hotel when you're staying in a hotel, the little snack room, or when you're at an airport and it's not necessarily a full TGI Fridays, it's just a newsstand, and you just grab something and buy it. Well, you can do this at work now, and you can just scan your hand. Scan. And there you go, and you get your Fritos, right? Or your Cheetos, or your Doritos. Man, I'm really hungry right now. Anyway, there's a company that they're doing this. That's what they want to do. They want to install a chip so you can get in and out of your door at work. You can get your Cheetos at your break room. You can sign on your computer and all this stuff. And 50 people have signed up for it. I don't like this. I don't like this, of all the things. What happened to the retina recognition? You know, the thing where you see your inside of your eyeball? I thought that was the next thing, right? That something creepy happened. Something creepy happened with that, didn't it? Remember that it was all about the retinal identity thing where they scanned your eyeballs. Jay Gilbert, how you doing? Rob Mueller, how you doing? Steve, how are you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Sean, Allison, welcome. Something happened with the retinal technology, and it was grotesque and weird. Remember, bear with me, millennials. Remember Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes? Great movie. And retinal technology, this is 30 years ago. Retinal technology was a big deal. In that movie was the future. And what happened to one of the main bad dudes in that movie? Wesley Snipes took his eyeball out and scanned it. That's what it was. Demolition Man destroyed retinal technology because people were afraid their eyeballs would be cut out and scanned. You know? Didn't that happen in T2? Didn't that happen in Terminator 2? Didn't they cut somebody's hand off to get into the next door or whatever? That's what happened. People are afraid their eyeballs go get cut out. So now they're doing the little chippy, the little rice-sized grain thingy in your hand. By the way, Jay Gilbert, glad to have you on in Cincinnati. Jay Gilbert, a brilliant writer and producer and announcer and friend. Haven't seen you in a long time, brother. Do miss you. Rob Mueller, same way, my brother. Good to see you as well. 50 people have volunteered for the Times Square Market employees chip thing. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I don't think I'd do that. I don't think I would do that. There's only one thing that I would do to do that. I would have a chip installed in my ass, in my forehead, in my middle finger, whatever. If I could get free Chipotle. If I could get free Chipotle, I would have an implant. Where? What do you want? What? I don't care. Sure. Let's do it. Let's do the implant. Go, 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 go. I want to go get my chicken fajita. Little rice, lots of vegetables, extra corn, sour cream cheese. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to get. All right. One more story. One more story tonight. And again, I'm very glad to see you tonight. Jay and Debbie and Shelby, my niece, who I'll see you this weekend. I hope Greg and Sam and Kelly and Cindy. Cindy went to high school with me. Good to see you guys. Let's check the other Deplorables Radio. Who's watching on Deplorables Radio? Got a bunch of folks there. Sam and Bill and Beverly. Hello, hello, hello. This is a funny story. Go Social did a survey, I guess, asked people about the lies that they've told their children or their parents told them. And parents lie, right? If you want to respond, what lie? There's the obvious ones about Santa Claus. The lie you say that he doesn't exist, and everybody knows he does. Everybody knows he does. Tooth Fairy, you say, Tooth Fairy doesn't exist, and the kids go, yeah. And we all know the Tooth Fairy exists. Fairly obvious. I mean, come on. You go to bed, you lose a tooth, you put it under the pillow, and there's some money. I don't think we need any more proof than that, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the lies that parents tell their children, if you would like comment real quick, that would be great. What did you tell your children? I'm their father. That was number one for me. I'm their biological father. Oh, crap. They don't know yet. Shh. Nothing. I love you. I love you, kids. I'm sure glad to be your biological father. Okay. Almost let that out. Some of the other lies, they don't sell replacement batteries for that toy. That is genius. That is genius. Or maybe to your kid. I know I've lied to my son when he was younger about Legos. It's like, no, Lego, or will. That Lego Death Star is no longer being made. I know it cost $300, but it's son of a gun, I guess. It was destroyed. Here's one from the survey on Go Social. My dad told me that if I swallowed chewing gum, my poops would bounce up and down in the toilet. I cried when I swallowed some gum. My mom said that it would digest for 7 years in your body like that creature in the desert in Star Wars. That's what I thought. And then, of course, if you stick a sunflower seed in your ear, it'll grow. And if you swallow a watermelon seed, it'll grow and all that. I should have had watermelons growing out of my ass. I should have had a grove of watermelons growing on or pumpkins, one or the other. This is my favorite one. I love this. It's so devious. If the ice cream truck is playing music, it means they've run out of ice cream. That's just almost evil. Almost evil. Oh, and then this. When we went to the store, my mom used to say, every time I touch something, a kitten dies. Every time I touch something, a kitten dies. Mine was about masturbation. My mother said that about never mind, whatever. Anybody out there killing any kittens lately? Wow. I'm sure with many of us, kittens would be extinct. It is time for me to get out of here. It has been a glorious, glorious evening for me. I hope it has been for you. We've done this live not only on Facebook, but also we are recording it. It will be featured on iTunes at Rob Carson Show. Let's see, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Audio Boom. I believe it's available in your toaster. It's that good, just in your toaster. You can hear this podcast in your toaster. I want to thank my sponsors for the glorious broadcast. Dr. Alex Nelson, if you're in Kansas City, you need chiropractic adjustment. It's fountainoflifecairo.com, fountainoflifecairo.com, 8335 North Congress Avenue, 816-741-4711, 816-741-4711. Let's not forget Grass Monsters KC. If you are tired of the wussy, awful push mower that you have and you want a mower that is zero turning radius. Guys, once you go zero turning radius, what the hell is that? You will never go back. Get a Dixie Chopper or a Hustler. Go get a test drive, 5520 Raytown Road, Raytown Mo. grassmonstersKC.com. Tell Andrew you know me. He's going to take care of you. Also, check out the swag line. Here it is. La, la, la. tpublic.com, conservatees, teepublic.com/user/conservatees. We have this terrific line of politically incorrect garb. This includes T-shirts, hats, stickers, whatever. Let's not forget Russia with Jan Brady. My kid is not a snowflake. Kaboom. Instead of war is not the answer. Oh, hell yeah, it is. Sometimes it is. Thank you, Iran, you little podunk country taunting our warships. Blow their asses out of the water. You live in Kansas City. How about a Kansas City? Proud climate change denier. Proud climate change denier. Veganism is an eating disorder. And there are 50 designs. All right, there are 50 designs. T-shirts, hats, mugs, whatever. They're fun, and they're not all political. They're not all political. Again, tpublic.com, conservatees, teepublic.com/user/conservatees. Share with others. This is a new venture for me, and we're sharing not only a audio podcast, video podcast, but also the swag line. And I am on this week. By the way, today is the 25th of July, and I will be on until Friday on WBAP in Dallas, Texas. So in the meantime, I will tell you, and thank you all for joining me. God bless you, all right? And we will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.